Hey, it's Lisa here with a love note for February 7th, Super Bowl Sunday. Some of you are really happy right now, some of you are really sad, and some of you just don't care one way or the other about what happened in the Super Bowl game, or the commercials, or whatever. Some of you are just really more interested in the food that maybe happened during the festivities. Hey, the guides came in today and wanted to talk about wounds. So the wounds that we experience, and we all have experienced them in some way or another. And really what they wanted to talk about was what we do with those wounds. You know, we've seen one of the phrases that my book editor uses a lot is the idea of writing from the scar rather than writing from the wound. That when you get beyond the wound and are in a place of strength from that wound having healed, then we're actually in a better place to hold space and communicate about that wound with others. When we're right in the middle of the wound, it's just like we're oozing our stuff, all over other people in the meantime. Some people would say that communicating the wound is authentic, and that it's important to be authentic when we're hurting, to let other people know. And I can see, I can see a case for that. But what's challenging is the idea of how we might hurt others from the place of our wound. Some of you may have heard the phrase, if you don't heal what hurt you, you'll bleed on others who didn't cut you. And in my own life, I've definitely seen that to be true. You've probably seen it to be true in your life too. And so part of it is taking responsibility for our own healing. I also saw something just this morning that said, hurt people, and healed people, heal people. And that struck me, and I wondered if it's true. I know, hurt people can lash out and act toward others in a way that can be hurtful. But can healed people actually heal others? And I'd love to hear your perspectives on this. Ultimately, we have to decide if we heal. That's an inside job. That's a personal responsibility. And no matter how much healing you may have done, no matter how much space you hold, no matter how much energy, and optimism and hope and everything else that you hold for somebody else, doesn't mean that they're going to make the decision to heal. And that can be one of the most challenging things for people who have big hearts and who love deeply and who want others to heal and who think we can make this happen, for them not to make that choice. And maybe you've been in that situation. I know if any of you are, adult children of alcoholic parents, or maybe have had, alcohol or addiction in your personal relationships with people that you love, family, friends, spouses, whatever. That can be a real challenge, and I've had my share. I've had my share of that. And, used to think that I was somehow a failure because I couldn't hold enough space or hold enough healing or hold enough light or whatever, hold enough love that made it easy for them to choose or to want to choose a different path. And man, I beat the hell out of myself for that for a really long time. And so, but what I did find was that in my own healing, by working to heal myself, what that did allow was for me to be able to choose not to compound the hurt even more to me, not to take all of that on myself, but also not to contribute even more to their hurt, to their wound. And so, it's an interesting balance. I definitely do believe that hurt people, can and do act out in ways that are hurtful to others, and that healed people do have a tendency to be able to hold that healing energy and that compassion and that love and that care in such a way to make space or to make a safe container for other people when they choose to be even more supported in their own healing but we can't make that choice for them. And that sometimes is so hard that we can't do that. And we have an opportunity not to make that mean something about us. Not to make that mean something about us. So today, the guides, really it was just an encouragement one more time to focus on what it is in our lives that we might need healing from. What are we healing from? We are all healing from something. Every single one of us is healing from something. That is the price of being human. That's the price of life on this planet, is that we have these experiences that allow us to learn and to love and to hurt and to grow and to decide, how do we want to be? How do we want to respond? How do we want to interact with others given all of this stuff that we've gone through? Do we want to respond and interact from a place of grace, from a place of love, from a place of strength, even the strength of the scar, especially the strength of the scar, rather than a place of lashing out, of trying to hurt others because we're feeling hurt, of feeling like it's some big competition or some game, of acting in a way that is lacking in compassion or care or concern. It's easier to make that choice for love when we're at least actively working on our own healing. We can't heal others. We can show them what it looks like. And I am so grateful that there are so many people in the world who are willing to talk about their challenges, who are willing to be vulnerable and to be authentic and to be so real about the shit that they've faced in their lives, and to show people that there is a different way, to be the lighthouse for others, be that lantern for others, to show them the path to something different, to show them that change is possible, that healing is possible. Because without that, we would have even fewer healed people. So if you're one of those people, just please know, from the depths of my heart, seriously, thank you. Because it matters. It genuinely matters. So, you are loved. We all have an opportunity to remember that we're loved, even when we're in the midst of our wound, whatever that wound might be. We are loved. Even when we're in the midst of that wound, and sometimes it takes hitting rock bottom, it takes that dark night of the soul kind of thing, to remember that we are surrounded by unconditional love, even when we can't see it, and to surrender into grace. And sometimes it's that surrendering into grace that is the only thing that helps us see the light on the other side. So if there are people in your life that could use a little extra unconditional love, even when it can be frustrating, have the strength and the grace to maybe grant that. If you need a little extra unconditional love in your life, because maybe you're going through something, just remember that there is amazing amounts of love for you from whatever you see as a spirit, especially, but also here on earth, in the people in your life that you might not even recognize the depth of the compassion and care for you. Seek that out if you need to. If you don't feel like you've got anybody, give me a shout, because I'd like to be here for you. But this healing business isn't for sissies. It's hard, and it takes courage, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a freaking freight train waiting to run us over. There is light, but we have to make the decision. And when we make the decision to heal, we can show the way and hold space for others to make their own free will decision to heal. We can't force it, but we can hold space and encourage for them to make that free will decision and help support them along the way. We have a lot of healing to do on this planet, both in our individual lives, in our interactions with each other, with the planet itself. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen. Joy, I see you. Hurts my heart. Yeah, it hurts mine too, friend. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen. And a lot of the healing is healing that needs some backing and some support. It needs us, it needs us to do our own work, and it needs us to stand here with and for others to help show the way that the work can be done. So just know you are loved enormously and you are invited to pay that love forward. Have a beautiful evening.